Hello everybody, I hope you're okay. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most overhyped tools in digital security, VPNs, otherwise known as virtual private networks. You've probably seen them. They're advertised by endless YouTube sponsors with flashy ad campaigns claiming that VPNs are ultimate privacy protection solutions. They browse anonymously, they hide you from hackers, they support military grade encryption. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. VPNs aren't delivering the privacy they promise. Let's get into what is going on with VPNs and why is everybody claiming they can do these crazy things that they cannot do. What is a VPN? What does a virtual private network actually do? At its core, a VPN creates an encrypted and even sometimes an unencrypted tunnel between your device and a remote server operated by the VPN company. This is then connected to websites or other services you're trying to access. It mainly does three things. They hide your IP address from the website you're visiting. They encrypt your traffic between your phone and the VPN server. Not the website itself, just the VPN server. And three, they can allow you to access resources that are not publicly available. For example, in a commercial work environment, you'll use a VPN to access your work servers or stuff like that at work. And well, that's pretty much it. These are the useful features in a VPN, and they're far more limiting than VPN companies will claim in their marketing. Recent research that has been conducted shows that influencer VPN ads on YouTube especially, as well as other platforms, spread misleading information about both VPNs and their broader ability to secure your data. They create aggregated threat perception rather than accurate technical understanding of how these things work. Now let's break down some of the claims that they claim they do. So, total anonymity online. VPNs only hide your IP address. That's the thing that your computer uses to connect to the internet. They do not prevent tracking through cookies, browser fingerprinting, or logging in accounts. Say you log into Google, Facebook, or any other account, they know exactly who you are. They also still leak the web address that you're going to, the domain, so google.com for instance, because this part of the HTTPS request, the secure connection between your device and their servers, is not encrypted to allow for something called TLS certificates to be given the right domain. You might have also heard the term military grade encryption. That sounds really impressive, doesn't it? Ooh, I got the military grade encryption on my VPN. But most modern VPNs are using something called AES 256, which is actually standard across the board and the industry, as well as in lots of other areas to do with encryption. It's not a unique selling point, shockingly enough. The next big claim that you'll find coming out of a VPN company is, we never log your data. Oh yes. And I've never been to your website. The reality is most of these no-log claims are just claims. They actually do collect your user data, and some have even been caught providing this data about user information and where you've been going to authorities despite their marketing claims that they don't have any logs. Some of these examples are Pure VPN. They provided user data to the FBI despite claiming they save no logs. The VPN Hide My Ass, if you've seen that one, stores logs and handed it over to the UK authorities, which these days, given the current state of the UK, don't be using that if you want to look at risky sites, if you know what I'm on about. So their third claim, which is complete protection from hackers and surveillance. What does that really mean? VPNs only work between your device and the VPN server that you are connecting to. They don't work between the VPN server and the website because this is still using the standard encryption that most websites use. They don't actually protect against malware, phishing, or other common attacks. And remember, the most key part about any VPN is you're just moving your trust vector from your ISP or your internet service provider to your VPN provider. So whoever provides you your home internet that you might not trust, you're just moving it to a third-party service that you might not trust. You're not actually improving your privacy. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, free VPN. If a VPN service is free, you might be familiar with that, a platform called YouTube. They provide, shockingly enough, free videos. Where do they make their money? Oh, me. Oh, that's not good. They make the money from me. I have a bit of a saying that says, if you're not paying for a product, you are the product. And with most VPN companies, that is the case. You are the product. They are selling your data to the third party that wants the advertising, the tracking data, the whatever else, to serve you personalized ads. Most people love the word free. You can have this thing for free. You do not have to pay anything. And don't really think about the dangers that come with that. Most people don't really understand the value your data and your browsing history actually has when it's being sold online. Here are some of the ways free VPNs make money. Collecting and selling your browsing data, like what websites and all that sort of stuff that you go to. Displaying ads and redirecting your browsing data. In some cases, selling your bandwidth to third parties. The whole VPN industry doesn't always align with the privacy concerns that you might expect from their advertising campaign. It is a very saturated market, and they've gone with aggressive marketing claims to stand out in a jam-packed market. According to research conducted on Android VPN apps, 84% will leak your IP address, 82% attempt to access sensitive data from you, 75% utilize tracking third parties, and even 38% contain malware. That is not good. Stay away from free VPN apps. The surveillance reality is real. Even with a VPN, you are being tracked through browser fingerprinting. Sites can identify you based on your browser's configuration, like what settings you've got where and how you've done what. Cookies and local storage, tracking that persistent regardless of your IP address. Little thing that sits in your browser that they send over the internet. Account logins, of course, where you log into a service. They might also talk to third-party services in the background that you aren't aware of, and they all link your IP address. On any mobile device, you have a unique identifier that identifies the application and or the phone that is able to be tracked between IP addresses, continents, and the world. A great statement that I once saw is, privacy isn't a feature that you can install, it's a mindset you have to adopt. VPNs are valuable, but are an imperfect tool in this toolbox. Here in the year 2025, who should actually be using a VPN, and where are their use cases? What are they for? And when should you avoid them? So despite the limitations, VPNs are useful in specific circumstances. I would suggest you use them on public networks where people might be looking at your network traffic, especially if it's an unsecure network. If you don't have to enter a password to connect to that Wi-Fi network, your traffic is not encrypted between your device and the access point producing the Wi-Fi. Though most websites these days provide HTTPS or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, which includes some encryption natively. Another common use case for VPNs is when you need to bypass geo restriction. That's come around a lot in the UK right now with the new UK privacy law. I did a whole video about that and why it's already doomed to fail. But for anybody not willing to present their ID, they can jump on a VPN and pretend they're in some other country. ISP throttling. Some ISPs might limit your access to X service or Y service. If that happens, you could use a VPN to pretend that you are going to a different service that isn't throttled and access that service. This might happen in some countries in the world. It's not perfect at getting around some of these, though it is a massive help. It will also limit the amount of stuff that your ISP, if you really don't trust your ISP from snooping on your web traffic, but then you're just trusting it to a third party. And what I've not written down on my list here is actually accessing resources like your home network, your business, or whatever else it might be that aren't publicly exposed via a VPN. Don't publicly expose your service, connect using a secure encrypted tunnel, and then use them. While VPNs won't keep you anonymous, it does encrypt your data and hide you from outside observers looking in with their magnifying glasses, helping you maintain a higher level of privacy. If you are really serious about privacy online and how your data is secured, VPNs should just be one part of this comprehensive approach. You should be using something like a privacy-focused browser, installing privacy extensions like uBlock that maybe disable ads and other stuff like that. Consider using Tor, which is a much more complicated version of a VPN that I won't get into here. Use encrypted messaging services like Signal. SMS, of course, is not encrypted. Practice good security hygiene. Realistically, most people should be practicing this. With strong passwords, 2FA, regular updates to those passwords, using a password manager with a long, secure master password. Be conscious of what you are sharing online and where you log into sites, thinking all of these sites can link that back to you. And maybe I should stop posting videos on YouTube if I was privacy focused. Remember, no single tool presents complete privacy. It's about building these layers up as appropriate for your needs. So my final thoughts. VPNs aren't worthless. They don't provide the comprehensive privacy they are advertised about and aggressively marketed towards. They are one tool in a privacy toolbox, and they very much do have a place in the market, just not how they are advertised these days. So next time you see a YouTuber claiming that their VPN sponsor will make you completely anonymous online, remember what I've just told you and watch out. Digital privacy requires understanding, awareness, and multiple tools to work together. Thank you for watching, and if you found this one interesting, please hit that like button and maybe consider a subscribe. I would be interested in your opinions on the privacy aspects of VPNs and how they are marketed today. Drop me a comment about questions you might have about what they're doing and how VPNs work. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.